duo. Money doubles up like a duo. I just want the yen and the euro. The game up and leave my kids like judo. Money come around like a Hoover. Making free bands in the future. Pockets on the...
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for James Conner. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, Snickers, 66.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Let's go, let's go.
Conner. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back, has bred this big defensive tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action. Newton dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Mixon with a first down carry. And an alley to run. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. A handoff to Mixon. And he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Gun. 20. That's it. 180. Great.
Back to Mixon on first down. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Here we go. Great. Set. 180.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Express! Express! That's right now.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. A shotgun snap for Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go.
So that'll back him up 5.
Here we go.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And that's the first mark on the stat sheet for the four-time first-team All-Pro. How about this? Over 1,000 yards 6 times in his career, and just 2 yards away in 2013 of being over 1,500 yards in 4 of his last 5 seasons.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Here's Connor. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They run with Connor. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, it's Connor. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Newton now to throw. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Let's go, let's go.
Now it's Conner fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, slow down. Stop! 180.
To play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And down inside the 15 he goes. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They give it to Rawls. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And on the ground they go with the running back. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a handoff looking right. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Newton. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On first down, Newton. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with him. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go. Eight. Alert. 3 down. Do some.
On second down, here's Newton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Newton on first down. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Hey. We got three. Ready. Black 80. Switch.
The first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Greg. Hey. 4 down.
To throw on second down, Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Come on now.
From the gun, here's Newton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. On the crossing route, complete. It's James. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. And they'll go on the ground. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
let's go. All right, let's go get it now, all right? You got four.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Steelers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Roethlisberger will throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Let's go, let's go.
Again, it's Connor. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And the grab by Croft. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Out of the gun, Newton. And Matthews has it right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. To Mixon on the check down. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Check. 20.
Again, Newton. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Again, it's Mixon. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Newton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Bullock will put this one through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. When you talk about clutch, that one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Michael Johnson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now Roethlisberger flushed out right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On 1st and 10, Newton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. T.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll look to throw. And Matthews makes the grab. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. Now a desperation throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd, carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. Roethlisberger to throw. Incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They start with a give to Connor, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Ross on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Newton with his first throw in OT. Left side caught by Matthews. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Running left, it's Mixon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Come on now. Set. 180. Do something. 20.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Mixon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Cincinnati, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I sound